give it to you again, 937-518-1410. Or you can let your Twitter or your X fingers, I hope it's just Twitter fingers. I don't want you to have any X fingers. You have no fingers left. But use your Twitter fingers and hit me at KAB41. Well, today, I'm well fed. It's a nice spring day. And hey, the youngster at your office or wherever you're at work, hey, time to go get you some leaves. It's lunchtime. I'll admit, I just had me some. I'm still eating some, and I feel good. I'm fired up. So let the youngster go get some. There's a leaves near you. Hey, don't run the red light. Hey, put your blinker on. There's one either on your left or your right. So go by and have you some Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, and let's talk sports. So I haven't talked to you since last week. And last week, I promised you I was going to give you an update on I was supposed to play in a golf tournament last Friday with the coaches from Ohio State football team and the alumni players, and it got canceled. So I can't give you an update on the report because me and Ryan Day was going to have a little powwow and some of the assistant coaches, and I won't tell you everything we talked about, but I had some pertinent questions I've been thinking about all off season. I said, I'll ask Ryan over the golf course. We're nice and relaxed atmosphere. No loaded questions, of course, but direct questions nonetheless. But so I can't report on that, but those are my guys, and so I'll see them. But I did have a good time this past weekend in Atlanta. I was down in Atlanta for the College Football Hall of Fame golf tournament and welcomed some of the new arrivals into the Hall of Fame, and that was great. Played at Peachtree, the number 2 rated course in Georgia, behind only Augusta National, and technical difficulties here in the studio, but nonetheless, it was good to see some fellow Hall of Famers. Mike Doss from the Ohio State University was there, with me, and Charlie Ward. Remember Charlie Ward from Florida State, Heisman Trophy winner. Didn't get drafted in the NFL till late. They didn't think he could play in NFL. Well, he was a black quarterback at the time, and that's a different story. But the New York Knicks said, hey, we'll take him. So he went on, had a great career for the New York Knicks, and we was watching Game 7, on Sunday. So that was good. So we're going to have some NBA talk. And I got a special guest in there, so I can't tell you all the stuff about Ohio State, but I got a UD great here in the studio. He's going to sit in here with us today. So this afternoon, he's going to come back later on and do Justin Kenner and Kev Nash show later on this afternoon. But right now I have him, and he's here. So I'm going to welcome him right now. Guess who it is? It's UD great DaRon Holmes, UD Flyer. Welcome, DaRon. How you doing today?
Pretty well. I really appreciate you letting me come to the show.
Absolutely, man. Anytime you're in town, I know you're here in town right now, but I don't know how long we're going to have your presence, but you know, in the future, you can always come back here and have and talk to, because your future is bright. That's why I'm surprised you don't have sunglasses on. That's how bright your future is. But we are glad to have you here. So we're going to talk about a variety subjects. And number one, this past season, I'm a big fan of UD basketball, and growing up here in Dayton, that's our local sports team, our local pro team. Even though you're college, it's usually the biggest team that we watch all winter long. And you come here from New York, and you go into UD Arena, and you're like, man, this place is sold out on a Tuesday night. It's a Saturday afternoon. This place is sold out. Great fan support. That's one of the reasons why they had the first four, here in Dayton, Ohio. So you've been in Dayton. This is your third year here, right?
Correct.
Third year is here. Has University of Dayton exceeded your expectations, other than you don't know when you're getting recruited, then you get here, and then it's like reality, man, this place it's better than I thought, or it's what I thought, or it's not as good as I thought. So where do you fall in that category?
I can't say it any better than how you did. Like, when I first got here, I was like, wow, like it really is like they say. And just being there, the atmosphere, the culture, the people, the coaches, everything combined, like this place is second to none.
I totally agree. It's a very special place. And, for this, where they have categories, I'm not a big label guy, but their category Dayton is a mid-major. And I'm like, okay, University of Dayton is a mid-major. It is, you rank them how you want, but Dayton is in the top 5, if not number 1 mid-major school. Like you said, you got that great fan support, that's always been there. Now with NIL, you even get even better support, because now you got one of your sponsors that you have a deal with is with Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Isn't that great?
That's amazing. Better than great.
Yeah. I wish I could have had. We had NIL when I was in school. I mean, have some, to be able to have go in the leagues and get you something to eat after being at basketball practice or your school in the morning, practice in the afternoon. No, you got training table, but then you study at night, and then it's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. Training table's over. Mm. It's nice to be able to say, hey, who else is still open? Leagues is open.
That's right.
Let me go get me well, for me, that would be a 5-piece, but for you, it's probably only a 2 or 3-piece with some sides. I'm a little bigger guy than you. Okay, I'm going to order a bucket. But your buddies be like, hey, man, you hungry? I'm hungry. Let's go get some leaves. Right. That's a great option. I mean, it's really good food, but to be able to have that and to be exposed to that, I mean, when you came in, they didn't have NIL. It was new, I think, your freshman year, and it has really, grown up, and that's a great deal. So your NBA, everybody wants to go to the NBA. So I'm sure that's in your future as well. But after your NBA career is over with, hopefully a long time ago, even during your NBA career, do you still see yourself coming back here to Dayton to spend some time and just taking a basketball game one day? Once you retire from all that, do you see yourself coming back here? I'm not saying I'm going to put you on the spot. Say you going to come back here and live, but will you see yourself coming back and attending some University of Dayton games in the future?
Oh, of course, I definitely will be back. I know that for certain. So, I know I definitely will be back to attend some games and see how it goes when I'm done playing basketball. Yeah.
So you're enjoying this side of the. So you're on the other side. I mean, because this past year, I think they celebrated the '84 team, and that was 40 years ago.
Man,
and it's like. It only sounds like 40 years ago when you say it out loud. And your coach was on that team 40 years ago. And that was just, I bet if I asked him that question, 40 years from now, you think you see yourself coming back? You think you'd be the head coach of Dayton 40 years from now? And your teammates, all the blood, sweat, and tears y'all went through that famous run in 1984, Roosevelt, Chapman, and all those great guys on that team. And then 40 years later, we'll be here, and everybody in Dayton will still remember you guys and still appreciate you. That's part of the thing that I think a lot of this generation, the kids, they don't see.
Right.
That, the impact that you have today is more than just the day. It's about tomorrow's and the next days, and we always will remember you. So I called you one of the UD greats. You are one of the UD greats.
Really
so in 10 years from now, y'all remember DaRon Holmes? Yes. 20 years. Remember yes. That's the impact that you've left here. I know it's a chance you may come back, but nonetheless, either way, we wish you nothing but the best. You're always going to have support. Now, I know you're a New Yorker, but there's how many teams in the NBA? 30 teams?
There are, 32.
32 teams.
Right.
Now, who'd you grow up watching? Who was your favorite team growing up?
That's a good one. So I actually moved to Arizona for a little bit, for a minute. So I like the Suns a lot, but honestly, any team I like watching. Like there's different teams that I like to watch. The Timberwolves are good. I really like watching the Nuggets. So a bunch of different types of teams that I like.
Okay, all right. So no team ever broke your heart as a kid? Like they didn't win and you got your heart broke?
Oh man, not really.
Oh, you was only whoever's winning. That's my team.
Yeah, football. That's happened to me a couple of times with football. Like,
don't tell me you had that team with the star on.
Oh no.
I produced it.
Chiefs. Because I was born in around Kansas City, so my auntie cheerleaded for them. So our whole family's big on them, and I used to live in Tennessee too. So the Titans as well. So we've been through it.
So when the Bengals beat the Titans a couple of years ago in the Super Bowl, I mean in the playoffs, that was a heartbreaker. That was a heartbreaker.
That was a heartbreaker.
There's somebody from Lee's in here smiling. I got some Lee's smilers in here. I won't name names, Cam. I won't name names. but that's part of being a real fan.
That's right.
Being a fan, you have to cheer more. You cheer your sport, of course, but you cheer other sports and you stick with them through thick and thin. My favorite baseball team is the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I've been a fan all my life. When I was 8 years old in 1971, they won the World Series. 8 years later, in 1979, they won the World Series. They haven't won a World Series since. But every year, I believe this is going to be our year. Right. This is going to be our year. So, I probably can't even name you 5 Pirates on the team right now. But I cheer for the jersey. Right. So I'm a real diehard fan.
Amazing.
So That being said, now NBA, there's 4 teams left in the NBA right now.
Mhm.
Their chances to win it all. There's the Indiana Pacers, Boston Celtics, Dallas Mavericks, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. One of those 4 teams are going to be holding the crown up. Seeing some of that promos ad now that Dwayne Wade, get to sip the champagne in June. Wow. Of those 4, which one do you think is going to win and why? Or just when you talk about all 4 of them first?
Well,
then we'll figure out which one going to win.
That's a good one. So yeah, you got 4 very good teams. You got the Celtics, you got the Pacers, you got the Wolves, and who are they playing? The Mavericks. Yeah. So those are 4 great teams. You got to look at the stars on the team first. So all their stars are very productive. They do different things very well, which I think is pretty cool. Then you got to look at the other players they have as well, and I think a lot of them have good supporting cast, and each team plays a different style of basketball, which is
right.
Cool.
They get their own brand. They want you to play their style.
That's right. The Pacers play very fast. The Celtics are very smart, very good on defense. They can switch. Al Horford's still playing very well. Kristaps Porzingis is still out, so you got to take that into consideration. Dallas, you got Luka and Kyrie. That's a very dangerous duo. A lot of young guys on Dallas that are helping out, like Derek Lively. And the supporting system's pretty good as well. And then Timberwolves. That man Anthony Edwards is not to really play around with.
He is that man.
He is that man. He's good. He's very good. So and you got Rudy in the paint with Cat. And then they got a very long athletic defensive team. So I personally think out of those 4 teams, I got the Timberwolves winning. I really don't. Anthony Edwards, like that, he's like giving me that star vibe. So I'm starting to see it happen. So,
right. I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what I think.
Yeah,
because you're help forming my opinion on which way to lean. And we always want parity in whatever sport we're talking about. We want everybody to go into season knowing you have a chance. And when we get to the playoffs, they want a little air of who is actually going to win.
Yeah,
and and you kind of think it. And I was like, so let me think of Indiana right now. Can Indiana win it and why? Mm-hmm. They have stars.
They definitely do.
Tyrese Halliburton is as good as advertised and so young, still doing it. I mean, and then you got Pascal Siakam.
Yeah.
He has championship pedigree. But I like to use the analogy, who's Batman, who's Robin, and who else is with him. So when you look at the great Chicago Bull teams, you know who Batman was. It's Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen was a great Robin, and everyone else added, to the mix.
Right.
To be that 3rd, 4th, or 5th, 6th guy. You were the Batman for the University of Dayton this year. As you go, everybody else fills in. So Indiana Batman, I don't see them having a Batman yet.
Yeah, that's the one.
They got 2 Robins.
They got 2. Yeah,
they got Halliburton.
Yeah,
and Pascal Siakam.
Yeah. The other thing with them is I think like with their style of play, that is probably what's going to be the biggest thing. Even their bench, like Obi, Obi coming off the bench is like producing very, very good numbers right now with TJ McConnell. So if they could keep that up, like that's what's going to be the separating factor with them. So,
I mean, Obi played great last night. He's a homeboy. I know he's a Dayton guy.
He was cooking.
And that helps when you get drafted. You go to the right team that's going to fit your skill set. That's something you're going to have to look forward to. Also, Obi gets drafted by the Knicks. Oof. That offense didn't fit him. It didn't fit him. It didn't fit.
That's right.
Now he's in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at Brunson from the Knicks.
Yo, yeah.
He didn't find his right niche till he gets to New York.
Right.
So that happens. Hopefully when your time comes, you go to the right team that's going to fit your need. Where you fit in the best. That's any player, any sport, any team. Those 2 things have to marry up, together. Where do you see yourself? Now the Dallas Mavericks, I would say Luka is the Batman. Kyrie is the Robin who can play Batman.
Yes.
Now who's that 3rd guy going to step up for them consistently?
That's what it is.
You mentioned Lively.
Yeah.
Can we count on him?
Yeah.
Or Washington. I mean, that's going to be the question mark. It's going to be like, Then you talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Ant-Man. Hey, he is a superhero.
He's good.
He is what they say he is. I mean, last year was the beginning of his coming out party. This year, he's all the way out. He's all the way out there. I mean, for the future, he's one of the future faces of the NBA.
Yeah.
Now who's going to go? Who's going to ride? With him.
Yeah.
That's there's Karl-Anthony Towns. Will he be Robin?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
because he had a chance to be Batman when the Jimmy Butler was so, and then Anthony Edwards come in. I'm the real Batman.
Yeah,
you're right. He falls back. So they got the mix.
Yeah.
You got Rudy Gobert. You got Mike Conley. They have all the ingredients. So if they play to their potential, they're the team to beat. They knocked off the defending champions.
That was tough.
On the road.
I was like,
that's now can you? But that's sometimes you got to get your heart broken in the NBA before you finally knock it through all the way. And I guess you could say they had their heart broken last year when they got eliminated so early. So now they've learned those lessons. Now can they turn it up a notch? To go the rest of the way. Which brings me to the Boston Celtics. They've had their heart broken a few times.
A lot of times, yeah.
Yeah, Golden State, Miami. Tatum, come on, you're our Batman.
Yeah.
Brown, you're Robin.
Yeah.
White, who are you?
Yeah.
You've been Batman, Robin. You've been Alfred. You've been a lot of different characters. We need you to play. If that big three, if they play to their potential, I think they walk through, no matter what Minnesota does. But if it's the biggest word in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Will they do that? But that's what's so intriguing that we're going to find out about the next week and a half, 2 weeks of watching these series, unfold. And never have been a huge Boston fan. Never. I've always grown up, I'm a 76er fan. So by nature, I'm a Boston hater. I have to be. I can't. I'm a Sixer fan. I got to hate Boston. But, the Sixers, we had our little moment, and we had 5 games in the playoffs. We're out. So it's going to be real interesting, to watch the NBA, playoffs. It's the longest playoffs. They start in April and end till June, so I don't want to get a lot of sleep right now.
These are crazy
because they got me hooked. I can't help but to watch it. I love it. So when you see all these, so then last night was game 1 of Boston and Indiana. And I'm like, I think Indiana just lost the series. I know it's the best of 7, and they all are crucial. If you can't afford
that one. Those
turnovers late in the fourth quarter, it was like,
yeah, you gotta win that one.
You gotta
foul. I think they should have fouled when they were up 3 like that. Should have fouled because that's one of the rules. Like if you don't foul and they get that 3 off, then whatever. Like that's OT. So
right.
It's a tough situation, but like you said, I think Boston's a very disciplined team. So I don't know if Indiana can get them in the second game, but Indiana's going to have to get their momentum at home and use that to propel them and hopefully get an away win at Boston. That's the only way I can really see it happening.
Now, I'm not to put you on the spot. If so, you feel free to jump up. There's 4 teams left we're talking about, right? If you could play for one of those 4 right now, which one of those 4 teams fit your personality and your style? You got the rest of the NBA to talk about later.
Yeah.
But those 4 teams, if it came down to Minnesota, Dallas, Indiana, and Boston, they said we need DaRon Holmes right now. Which one of those 4 would you say that would get you?
That's a tough one. If it was one of those 4 teams, I don't really know. I really like all of them pretty well. I would love to play for Indiana as well with Obi, just be by him and learn from him. So that would probably be a big deal. I really like the style of play the Timberwolves have. So I probably would like that as well. Just being around Ant, I feel like he's a young leader. And I feel like the way they use Naz Reid that comes off the bench and their players, they fit that long athletic build. I think I could fit that pretty well. But, man, that's a tough one. Dallas, I could see myself playing for, helping out Luka. And then, Boston, that's another great team. Where
you fit in?
Yeah.
See,
as I said,
okay,
it's hard to fit in there.
You're being more diplomatic than I would.
Yeah.
See, I grew up a Pittsburgh Pirates fan.
Yeah.
And, I always envisioned myself playing for them because I was a baseball player. And at the time, one of my favorite players was the right fielder that played on the team by the name of Dave Parker.
Okay.
They had a center fielder by the name of Omar Marino. He wasn't an all-star, but he was a really good player, leadoff hitter. And I was a center fielder growing up. And so I always said, man, when I played the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I would play next to Dave Parker. And so I finally met Dave Parker, and I said, you know, man, my childhood dream was to play center field next to you. You know, because I said I was gonna take Omar Marino's job. I was gonna take his spot. You know, that's gonna be. I was gonna. You know, I'm just more blunt. So even in football, I always saw myself starting and playing there. You know, in my basketball career, I'm not tall enough, but my basketball game was like Charles Barkley. Without the leaping ability. So you know, I could go coast to coast with the basketball. Yeah. You know, I was bullied. I would, you know, sit there, take on guard bigger guys. Right. You know, like if I had to guard you, you're gonna be close to my size. We're in high school, not college. You're gonna be most close to my size, you know, by the end of the night, because I'm gonna elbow you in your back, your lower back. You know, all 5 of my fouls will count. You know, no ticky-tack foul. You're gonna be like, Dad, get quick, you fouled too hard. Hey, that's how I play.
That's right.
You know, when I played against Ron Harper in high school, you know who Ron Harper is. You know, his mother was ready to fight me because I fouled him a little too hard. Ron Harper, he had to stop his mom. Mom, it's okay. This is play basketball. He's going to keep going hit me. We cool. I'm going to make all 5 of my fouls count. But if I was a basketball player, I wanted to play for the 76ers with Dr. J. You know, I was going to take somebody's spot as a small forward or power forward, but I just wasn't tall enough. So, you know, that's why I'm asking you a question. You know, if I was DaRon Holmes and I'm playing, you know, I could choose one of those 4 teams with my style. I think I see myself, you know, hey, coming to help out the Indiana Pacers. Yeah. Me and Obi, I'll come off the bench. Yeah. Obi, come on, man. Let's go in there and gang up on these boys. Right. You know, we're going to come in and play with energy. Right. You know, I don't know if you ever seen any of the old films, the Bad Boy Pistons one with Dennis Rodman, John Sally, Lambeer, Isaiah Thomas. That was Dennis Rodman and John Sally. Neither one of them started. But they came off the bench, and they was getting rebounds, running the lane on fast break, bringing that energy to the Pistons, to the Bad Boys. Right. You know, that athletic, just running the court, trying to block every shot. So they may only play 5 or 6 minutes at a time, or sometimes 3 or 4 minute spurts. But when they were in the game, they were impactful. And then a lot of time at crunch time, either one or both those guys would be in the game. So that's why I'm like, I'm seeing you, you know, if I could project, I would see you with the Indiana Pacers right now. Of those 4 teams, you coming off the bench and bring you and Obi coming in like, man, we hate to see them dudes come out the score table. Because, you know, I've been in here, but these dudes, they rested, they got refreshed legs, and they're going to make me work. That's right. You know, every rebound, y'all jumping at, and then if one getting a rebound, other one's sprinting, because like you said, they play with pace. Just like they're in their pacer. They trying to score. They ain't trying to shoot in the 24-second clock with 5 and 6 seconds. They trying to get shots up in the first 5 to 8 seconds of that clock. Wow. They play fast. And you got young, you know, greyhound legs. Man, but y'all be sprinting up and down that court all day long. You know, so that's those 4 teams. You know, if I could put you in a perfect situation, that's why I would play you. But you're going to have the other 26 other teams to be like, hey, we hear you, Mr. Byars, but be quiet. We have ideals for him here, like in Philadelphia. Phoenix. You know, Phoenix is another team without a, you know, I shouldn't say a leader, but they don't have they got 3 names. Yeah. They got KD, they got Book, and they have Bradley Beal. Okay, who else? Nobody. So somebody like DaRon, man, I'm somebody. Yeah. I'm gonna help y'all. I don't have no ego like some of y'all. I got to get 25 to 30 shots tonight. You don't worry about all that. Exactly. I'm worried about when the clock strikes 0-0. What's the score? Did we win or did we not win? You know, that's what we're going to be remembered for the most. So that's I don't know which one of those teams you're going to go to, but we'll see. Well, we got to take a break, and we got more to talk about. After the break, I want to get more into who is DaRon Holmes. You know, even though a lot of people here in Dayton knows you, but they're riding in their cars and they're getting to hear from a UD Flyer great at midday on a Wednesday here in May. How about that? But we'll get back to it later. Let's go to break. We got to pay some bills around here. You're listening to the Keith Byars Radio Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken.
Hot rods, muscle cars, classics. You've got to see Cars and Parts Giant Swap Meeting Car Show this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Clark County Fairgrounds in Springfield. Great family fun. Bargains on everything automotive, from rare old parts to racing collectibles. You've got to be there this weekend at the Clark County Fairgrounds in Springfield. Call 937-376-0111 for details.
Cars and Parts Swap Meeting Car Show. Bring the family.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Hey, let me tell you about the advantages of driving with my friends at Cordell Transportation. First of all, for the new year, they're offering brand new equipment to drive. They purchased new equipment and
I'm sure you had some on the break, but hey, you have some more. You can call or text 937-518-1410, and you can text that same number, or you can let your Twitter fingers do it at KAB41. I got a special guest in the studio today. You did great, DaRon Holmes. You know, and I didn't say Darren. I said DaRon. I know he has to correct people. Does a day go by without you correcting somebody how to say your name?
You usually have to do that every other day.
Every other day?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now, what about before you got dating?
Oh, man.
When you first day on campus, did you have to come and tell first week?
A lot of people.
My name's not Darren.
DaRon, Darren, I've heard them all.
You heard them all.
Well, you act like your name's like Sherajans or something like that. I still don't think we've got that one right, to be honest with you.
That's hard.
I'm not even going to try to say it.
Sure. I mean, you have the Antetokounmpo. I finally learned how to say that on his way out.
Will you say that for me? Because I still say Greek feet.
Coach is Antetokounmpo. But I'll mess up a name like Miller when I'm calling a game. You know, I mess up names all the time. I could say, I mess up Brandon Miller, but DaRon Holmes or whatever. You know.
Oh, I still got one more year saying JT to him aloud.
I don't even. I say JT.
JT, come on, JT. You know, I'm talking to you.
Yes,
my only thing is, that people spell my name wrong. It's Byars, not Byers.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, when I was just in Atlanta for the College Football Hall of Fame, someone from the Hall of Fame committee, they came and said, Keith, when you went in 2020, you never, because it was COVID, you were supposed to get a plaque, that you can store at your house with everybody in your class. And I was like, oh, that would be nice. So, can you give me your address? And he had already written down my name. It had Byers. I'm like, first off, I'm not giving you my address because I don't know who that is. You're like, oh, no, this is just my notes. I know how to spell your name, but you didn't put it down. Let me see you change spell my name right now. Right. And then I could give you my address. It's like, this is my little pet peeve. I'm like, no, I don't like that. But spell my name right. Pronounce your name right. My name is DaRon Holmes. It's not Darren.
Yeah.
Get my name right. Now, DaRon, sports question, not sport question. Do you play golf?
I not played golf. I've done Top Golf. My dad played it for a little bit, like just for fun. I've seen growing up. I used to see.
You lived in Arizona. You didn't play golf?
Yeah, I never did. A lot of my friends do it. I've seen it. A lot of my dad's friends, they all golf, but I don't know how to.
Do you see it in your future?
I think when I get older, I definitely will be swinging some golf clubs.
Okay, Dad, Chuck. He just made us see old.
Yeah. No. You guys aren't old. I'm saying when I grow up, I think guys are old. Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, DaRon.
Also pickleball. I can see myself playing some pickleball when I get older as well. Those are the two I would play.
But how old are you, DaRon? 21?
21.
See, what 21-year-old Keith Byars had the same answer you just had. Golf? How do you spell golf? I can't even spell golf at 21. I didn't start playing until I was 22, 23, once I got into the NFL. That's when I started playing golf. So when I was a college student, never played golf. And when I was at Ohio State, our pregame meal was at the Ohio State golf course every night before the game.
Okay.
And so that was the closest I came to the golf course, was going to to the golf course for pregame meal the night before the game. And so after I started playing golf, and people said, man, I know did you play at Ohio State? Yeah. No, you didn't play golf at Ohio State? All those nice golf, that golf course. Really? I went there and had dinner. I never played golf. So that's going to be part of your future. I can see it one of these days. We're going to reflect on this conversation. Keith, man, first time you asked me if I played golf, I'm playing now. So you'll be me and, Chuck from Lee's famous recipe. Chuck, no, I'm throwing your name out there, Chuck. You'll play golf with us one of these days. Once you get into the pros, because then that's when most of the guys get it.
Damn,
then we'll take your money.
Poor me and Cam. I don't know which one of us getting the boot, but it's a coin flip. Worst golfer, I'm out. So.
Yeah, but then on your downtime in the league, a lot of your teammates will be going to play golf, and you'll be like, where y'all going? I might as well go with you.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of basketball players,
I like that.
Play golf. So that's when I wonder if Obi plays. Do you have anybody?
I do wonder.
There's some real good golf courses in Indiana. He might play. So that one of these days you'll reflect back on this conversation and be like,
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Once you get in the NBA, golf would be part of it. You're like there's some of the veterans would be like, man, where these dudes going? And they play on the road in the NBA. Man. Yeah,
That's true.
So that's something, it's a fun game. It's a fun sport. And then once you start playing and you grew up during the era of Tiger Woods, and then you'll really feel how good you'll find out how good Tiger Woods really is when you try to be like, man, why won't my ball do like Tiger Woods? I play it on Madden. I'm awesome on Madden, Tiger Woods golf, but in reality, I'm not that good. Just like when guys play video games, they could dunk the ball and everything in video games, but then in real life, they can't dunk the ball like you dunk it. they don't go for the you don't go for the juke moves that way.
That's right.
So you've been at Dayton for 3 years. What is one of your biggest memories about being a University of Dayton basketball player?
Well, I have a couple. I would definitely say my favorite and biggest one so far is just making and winning in March Madness. That shows a lot, especially for the 2020 team. We feel like they deserved it all, and it was just hard because of when COVID hit. So the fact that we were able to make it to March in advance the way we did, and have that comeback win, that was amazing. That's second to none. That whole memory, the whole process with that, my favorite by far. Second, I would say is KU when Staffa hit the shot to win the game. That was amazing as well.
What is your biggest win, that most memorable win at University of Dayton Arena, at being a home team?
The two most memorable wins, personally,
the place is just going
nuts is the first one I would say is my freshman year at David when we played against Davidson at home. It was our last game of the year. We came off a loss at LaSalle. We had Davidson at home for our last game of the season. We were so hyped up for that game, just so hyped up. And I remember everything about that game. The place was rocking. And then this past season, when we played VCU at home, that game was crazy too. Right. Just because they're a good team. We know VCU pretty well. They're our rivals. We play against them all the time, so we're familiar with each other. Even they had a new coach.
What they can.
We know how they play. They know how we play. So it was just a battle throughout the whole game, throwing punches at each other, and we came out on top. And that was amazing. We just stayed resilient the whole game. So
I'm trying to remember, did any of your games did the students storm the court?
No, they don't.
Do that.
I don't think they're gonna let them. Yeah, they wouldn't let I don't think Neil would let that happen unless it's we get a top 10 team at home and we beat them. I could see that happening, but we have our fans have a lot of class. They wouldn't do something like that for the most part.
Have you ever been on the court when somebody else stormed the court?
Oh yeah, that happened a couple times. George Mason did it, and that's a commuter school. And I'm like, where are these fans coming from?
Right,
these guys don't even go to school here. Yeah, a lot of them. What else? Richmond did it against us.
That's a long walk to the locker room.
That's a long walk. Yeah, that was bad.
Don't mean to bring up the low life. Those are long walks to the locker room.
I'm trying to think who else did it. That's all I can remember so far. But we had some court storms, so it was definitely not the best feeling. But that's
you grow from it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe one day in the future, not your future, but the other players' future. Maybe one day we'll see another good court storm. At UD Arena, especially if they don't play Notre Dame as much as they used to. But you beat Notre Dame at UD Arena, yeah.
Oh yeah,
you can see a good court storm. And I see the logic in both sides of it. I mean, this past year, Caitlin Clark, quote unquote, got hurt against Ohio State. Allegedly, there was a little flop action, but nonetheless,
she's great.
I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, but I'm just saying I can see the downside.
No, you're not.
I am a Caitlin Clark fan.
You hear the disgust in your voice every time you bring up Caitlin Clark.
I don't, man. I like Caitlin. I mean, she's 0 for 4 right now, but who's counting?
Who's counting?
Who's counting? I like Caitlin Clark.
Hate's a strong word. Back to
that's our producer, Justin Kenner. No, I'm serious. I am a fan of Caitlin Clark. And speaking of Caitlin Clark, DaRon, what do you think about Caitlin Clark?
She changed the whole she done so much especially for women's basketball. I've always thought women's basketball is underrated, but she's really paved her way and showed and she's inspired so many young children, just to go out there and play, even some boys that want to play so I really respect her and what she does, and I hope she has a very good career. So she really changed the game.
Yeah. I mean, she's brought a bigger spotlight to the women's game, and I think that's a really good thing because, I mean, if she's shining a light bright, that means everybody else can, appreciate it also, and that helps them grow. I mean, a couple weeks ago, Justin's teasing me. A couple weeks ago, I talked about Caitlin Clark on the show, and I said instead of so many people, hating on her, just appreciate her and what she's going to bring to everyone else. Similar to when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came into the NBA. The NBA at that time was at an all-time low in player attendance, TV ratings, and everything else. But now they got these two bright stars coming in, and they're like, man. They are joining ones in Boston, others in LA, and they elevated the salaries and the spotlight and the TV deals for everyone else in the league, and now everybody else started making more money. Yeah, I mean, it was very few people that made $1 million a year in the NBA prior to Magic and Bird. Dr. J was one of them. Yeah, it was a lot of guys making $100,000, $200,000, $50,000, and then the salaries went up because of Magic and Bird. And then by the 90s, when Michael Jordan is ready to sprout his rings and just take over, the salaries just went through the roof. Yeah. And now where are we today? The NBA salaries are just, and it's would assist to Michael Jordan, but prior to Michael Jordan, Bird and Magic. The reason why you got guys, who's the highest paid player in the NBA now? I don't even know. I think it's Dame. Dame, what is he making? 50 million a year, 55? 60. Yeah. Not over 60 years. Yeah. 60 in one calendar year.
A lot of money.
A lot of money. Whereas when Magic Johnson signed a contract at one time, $25 million for 25 years, I mean, that's his whole career. He could be a lifetime Laker. Right. We negotiate to make it more, but that number was, $25 million for 25 years. But you're talking about $60 million in 1 year? Yeah. And next year you got another $60 million coming? And it's, that's those who came in front of you who allowed that to happen. So what Caitlin Clark is doing in the WNBA, we won't see the whole full effects of it for years from now. But this is a start. It's something as minor as getting private travel, charter flights. They didn't have that in the WNBA? No. Yeah. But with Caitlin Clark, they have it now, and even more perks will be coming, down the road. For me, this is just me. I know I'm rambling right now, but I would love to see the WNBA. It starts in May, ends in August. I would like the WNBA to start in November and end in February, right before March Madness, and have some of those games for the WNBA at that time period to be double headers with the NBA game. Imagine Indiana Fever playing right before the Indiana Pacers. You're going to pay a little bit more, but you're getting to see Caitlin Clark crew as well as Tyrese Halliburton in the same night.
That's huge. Yeah.
And now we got more time to give them, whereas in the summertime, it's hard to watch the WNBA at 7:30 on a Tuesday or Wednesday night when you're probably still out, barbecuing or playing golf. Oh, the game was on. Whereas whereas basketball's a wintertime sport. The NBA is coming to an end by summer. Right. Not starting, getting in the middle of your season like the WNBA is. That's when, and you can promote them a whole lot better at that time. Whereas, to try to just as a calendar fill. That's just me. That's my moment.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
of rant. And imagine how much bigger Caitlin Clark's name and a whole bunch of WNBA names would be during the wintertime when we're talking about basketball. The shows will be like, man, you see the college game last night? You see the WNBA? You see wow, that's great TV.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I would like to see. Man. Maybe one of these days, and I'll get that to the WNBA and NBA for free. I won't even charge them for it.
Yeah.
Just do it for the fans.
That'd be huge.
Do it for the fans. Now, we're coming to the end of the show. Justin, you got any questions? I know you got plenty of them. Later on this afternoon. You got one more question before we have to sign off?
I'm good. So we're doing the show live on ESPN Dayton's Facebook page too. But Ryan Roth, he, one of the listeners of the show, he messaged in, "Hey, DaRon, thanks for all you did at Dayton and good luck with all, your future career. Go Flyers," he says. So he also said, "Don't believe KB about golf." He said it's hard as hell.
No, he's the best. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
Well, I told you have a great appreciation for how great Tiger Woods is.
There we go.
I think you're a great basketball player. But I'm not impressed with you dunking the ball. I can dunk the basketball. I've dunked the basketball before, but to be able to hit some shots, that Tiger Woods shot, I can hit one every once in a while, but I get impressed when people can do stuff that I can't do. That's why I would go pay money to see a good singer sing. Not any singer, because I can bad sing with the best of them, with the worst of them. But a great singer, I would pay for that.
Yeah,
to go watch somebody play basketball on a higher level than me, I would pay for that.
I like that.
So that's what that's why I love actors and actresses, because I can bad act with a bad actor, but a good actor like a Denzel Washington, Angela Bassett, that's acting on a whole nother level. Jack Nicholson, those are other level. I would pay for greatness.
I like that.
So I would pay to go see you play a basketball game because you're a better basketball player than me.
Appreciate that.
Me and Barkley used to tease each other when he was with the 76ers and I was with the Eagles. And I used to tell Charles, I said, I'm a better basketball player than you're a football player. He's like, yeah, you're probably right, because I don't like football. Y'all have 2 days. I don't want to do nothing twice a day. Oh, no. So I'll play your sport, Charles. You can play mine.
You guys are hilarious.
Man. Yeah, so it was fun. But thank you.
Before you guys wrap up, too, because I want to make sure we give a shout out to Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. They do an awesome job sponsoring the Keith Byars Show.
Yes, they do.
Being involved with high-profile athletes the way they do, yourself, Keith, and then, of course, DaRon over the years. And we appreciate you coming in studio today. But also wanted to make sure that everyone listening, too, that they go out and for the best of Dayton, okay, that they go and submit their votes for the best chicken sandwich, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, of course. So make sure you go and get your vote submitted at Best of Dayton. We're going to share it on the social media page, but go and check that out. I think you two, would agree the best chicken sandwich.
The best chicken sandwich, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
yes,
I agree.
I'll take that one over that one with the big eyes. I didn't say the name. Or the one with that has a bucket. I'll take the Lee's Famous Chicken over that all the time.
The NBA approach. You can't just talk about you can't just talk
I'm talking about how great this sandwich is
without bringing, is MJ the GOAT? Oh, no, he's not, not the GOAT. LeBron's the GOAT because blah, blah, you got to tear everything down. No. NBA approach.
They got
that one is bad. I agree.
Yes.
Lee's.
Yeah.
Lee's.
I like Lee's. Yeah, he's a better golfer. Yeah, hey, but thanks again. Thanks, DaRon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. There's one near you. Pull over and get the sandwich, and you'll see what I see already. It's that good. It is that good. And you've had the others. Now have the best. Do me a favor. Get out before your day ends or while you're listening away. Get out and do random acts of kindness for your fellow man. Let's love one another. Thank you. You've been listening to the show. I'll see you next time.
There we go.
It's the Keith Byars Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, right here on Dayton's home of the Buckeyes, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Coming to you live from the Superbook Sports Studios in Kettering. You're listening to Dayton's ESPN.